Tick-tock. Tick-tock.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Y'all, gravity any day above ground living. Hope everyone is going to have a fantastic day. Or if you have started your day, I hope it's going well for you. This couldn't wait till tonight. We had to get rid of this now so you guys can have a productive day, because I don't want to end off your days with BS. That's right. You saw the title. Jason Whitlock, Marc Lamont Hill had a conversation. I listened to the conversation. You gonna love that conversation. But before we get into that, let's see who's in the building. Brother Torian Rain, hello. Hope you're having fun on your cruise. Go down the water slide, my G. Go down the water slide. And do the zip line. I'm pretty sure your ship has a zip line. Go do that. Reparations Nation, good morning. Tatum Man, good morning. Zava Xavier, good morning. Kiana G, good morning. For those who haven't said anything in the live chat or the comments, good morning. Let's just get into it. We're not going to even play games with this. I got other things to say, but I'll save it for the end. Let's get into it.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
So just so you know that I didn't make it up, there you go. It's already proved. Fair use.
Mark Furman was also caught using racial epithets. He was also basically caught being racist. So I'm saying that the corruption plus the racism here.
Okay, Mark, let's do this though. Let's, because how old are you, Mark? 45?
46, yeah. 45, yeah. Actually, yeah, 45.
46, yeah. I'm 56. We've lived long enough. I'm not into getting off in some hypothetical world. Oh, someone used the N-word and
keep a pin in that word he just said, hypothetical. Keep a pin in that. Keep a pin in that.
Because they're white or because it means something, this or that. The way we have used the N-word, Black people, we've done more promotion of that word over the last 50 years than any other group. And so the whole Mark Furman used the N-word, I could care less. And I know that puts me outside it, but I live in reality and most people could care less. So
okay, so we've already got out the gate talking about the N-word. Okay, newsflash. So what? Is it an abhorrent word? Yes. But we've seen Black people get checked on that word. But I see what Jason's doing. He's trying to say that it should be okay that since Black people say the N-word, everybody should say it. That's fine. You have free speech in this country. You can say it. Just know there's going to be consequences when you say it. Just like when Black people say it to Black people, there's going to be consequences. Either we're going to laugh and be like, okay, whatever, or you're going to get punched in the mouth. But again, these are conservatives. They don't understand that there are consequences. Because nowadays, when they have consequences, they become victims. Forever victims. Keep a pin in what I just said as well. So hypothetical, forever victims.
I just want
disagree with
to
that.
move. If we can, trust me, let me give you an example. And I've made some progress losing weight. But if I was really serious about losing weight, I wouldn't have just eaten this fried chicken wrap I just ate.
Oh, God. How did we go from the N-word to losing weight? Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not going to question it. Go ahead.
And so if we were serious, if we were really offended about the N-word, we wouldn't use it. And we wouldn't toss it around in music. We wouldn't celebrate it. And we wouldn't use it as a sign.
Who's celebrating it? Who is celebrating it? Oh, man. Who's celebrating it? Who's celebrating it? I didn't realize you could celebrate a word. Okay. All right.
Let me show you how black I am by using the N-word. So
I got to play it again. I got to play it again. I got to play it again. And I know a lot of y'all missed it. A lot of y'all missed it.
who is we? Who is we?
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
I hate
Let me give you a counter on that to use your food example. I know plenty of people in the hood who think they're eating healthy and they want to eat better, and they tell me I'm gonna stop drinking. Just hear me out.
You saw what he just did? Do that again.
Let
me give you a counter on that to use your food example. I know plenty of people in the hood who think they're eating healthy and they want to eat better, and they tell me I'm gonna stop drinking. Just hear me out. It's a metaphor. You'll see where I'm going. They'll say, look, I stopped drinking soda. Now I only drink juice. As a school teacher, I've done this. I've had to do health education with people. They don't realize that the juice is just as unhealthy. They don't realize there's just as much sugar in the thing. So they're sincere about being healthy. They're just doing it wrong. I'm asking you to consider that there are black people who legitimately think there's a difference between black people using the N-word and white people using the N-word, even if you ultimately disagree with them. You can speak to the consequence, but you can't speak to their sincerity. Is that a fair point?
Well, and again, but we can speculate on the sincerity of.
He didn't even get that man credit on that. You saw that. He's not. So, he didn't even give him credit on that. He agreed with it, but he ain't gonna give him credit on it. Okay.
Of white people when they make claims, well, I use that word, but I don't mean it in a negative way. Blah, blah, I'm just repeating the rap song. But we just thought, well, nope, they must be racist because one, we don't like them, and they repeat.
Sir, we say that because you know better. Wait a minute, y'all say y'all on the moral high ground. You say white people are moral high ground. You should know better. If a particular culture tells you that this is negative towards them, they claim they're high IQ. Y'all shouldn't do it. Correct? Okay. White people got a problem with Mexicans coming into the country, right? They say it's wrong. You should come in correctly. I actually agree with them on that. You can't then, as white folk, then say, let me go to Mexico because everything is cheaper down there. And when the locals got a problem with it, then you want to act brand new and be like, well, this is me. I have a choice. I can go wherever I want. It doesn't work like that. That's, again, I'm white and I say so. And he's going to do a lot of this through this debate, but we're going to continue.
Repeated that rap song and blah, 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 blah. Again,
but that's why I don't do that. I ain't mad at Marc Lamont for calling me the N-word. I'm mad at him for doing that while planting the glove, right? I'm saying that the combination of racism.
Oh, Lord. Mark. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I don't care the context where he said it. I don't care. He said it. He should have got punched in the mouth.
Racism and impropriety is what makes me think it's racist.
Let me move on to my other point of that, but I don't want to, because I don't want to delve in fantasy land. Let me move on to the point of
keep a pin in that. What the hell just happened? Get back on that tab. What did you just do? Okay. Keep a pin in that.
Because I don't want to delve in fantasy land.
I don't want to delve in fantasy land. Keep a pin in that.
let me move on to the point of the disproportion. And this is my issue with the educated elite. They live in a very theoretical world, and they live in a world where studies and data that all come from these college campuses.
I'm about this close to invalidating everything he's about to say after this. He just said the educated elite. Sir, that is you as well. You graduated from Ball State. That considers you the educated elite. You don't, man. Y'all have carte blanche right now to invalidate everything he's about to say. Y'all go off in the comments. Continue, sir.
They're completely disconnected primarily from the communities they're offering up all this information to. And so if you get hired for a job to work in gang prevention or crime in LA, and a disproportionate number of people that are committing the crimes and live in those zip codes are Black, you're going to have, because you have more interaction with the police, you're going to have more Black people exposed to police misconduct. And so having lived in the hood and having lived in gated communities and high income communities, I know where I'm more frequently going to run into the police and have a higher chance of having a positive and or negative engagement with the police. High crime zip codes, poor communities, it's going to happen. And so I get the studies that, oh my God, it's more prone to happen to this and that. Well, who's committing the most crimes? Who's committing the most murders? Again, we've had plenty of, and I hate to go off in the fans, but we've had plenty of TV shows that document, like, the whole point of the TV show The Wire is you start dropping.
Didn't you just say you're not going to delve into fantasies and hypotheticals? You didn't say fantasies, but that's basically what you're talking about. You just said you're not going to delve into hypotheticals. You just brought up a TV show. Even though the person who created it used their real world experience, it's still fantasy. It's a hypothetical. The Wire is literally 5 seasons of a hypothetical world.
Dropping bodies, the police are going to show up. If you don't drop bodies, they'll let you use your drugs and leave you alone. That's a fact of life. And so I just, the college data, we got studies, we got this. What I have, and I hate to go the lived experience, but I spent a lot of time in the Black community. My father owned my favorite place on.
I've told you before, if you're going to try to school people on what's going on out here, you have to use both at the same time. You have to use data, but you also have to use lived experience. You cannot separate both of them. He just separated both of them. Because if you don't separate both of them, your attitude on life would change a lot. But listen to what he's about to say about his dad. And I'm going to go back in the comment section when he's finished. And I want to see if people picked up on what he did and what he said. Go ahead.
On Earth, the Masterpiece Lounge, right in the heart of the Black community. We wasn't sitting around worried about the police and the police harming us. It just wasn't true. The gangster disciples, the vice lords, yes, there was concern. And so this whole thing that the criminal justice system, okay. And the whole deal that the criminal justice system is just abhorrently racist, and everything that comes out of that is a reflection of how racist it is. I just don't buy that argument. And this is where, again, by tossing in racist as it relates to Mark, that's where I think you triggered people, but I filibustered enough.
No, it wasn't filibuster. You just made a lot of points. I'm thinking about a few of them. One, I think to your last point, again, I didn't say that everything that comes out of it is racist. This is kind of a tactic that the right-wing elites do, right? They take a point and then they add some yeast to it and then they dispute it. They make the classic straw man, right? So I didn't say everything is racist and everything that comes out of it is racist. I would agree with you that sometimes
you label the criminal justice system as racist.
Yeah, it's fundamentally right in the same way that you label certain circles elitist, right? But you don't mean that doesn't mean that everybody in it is an elitist, but the system, there's a culture of elitism you're talking about. There's a culture of practice, right? But again, similarly, right? In the same way that you label entire spaces, but you don't necessarily make distinctions about among people. I'm saying we got to make some, and you're saying the same. I'm saying the same thing in this case. We have to make more distinctions. The distinction here is, yes, the system gives different outcomes for people that are predictable based on race, even when you control for class, even when you control for behavior. To use your Wire example, you're right. You drop the bodies, police coming. White people drop bodies, police coming for white people too. I agree with you, right? But when President Maluski knocks that kid's eye out, the kid wasn't doing nothing. Right? There comes a moment where even in black communities, hear me out, even in black communities, particularly if you decide that certain people are citizens or not, which is the language The Wire used, what ends up happening is you do respond differently to the person. Think about the school teacher that's driving to school and just asked the cop to move his car when Carver finally had to put the hammer down as a boss because the guy pulled the guy out of his car when he simply beeped the horn when there was a traffic stop, right? Again, that guy wasn't bothering the police. He was the middle class, mind your own business black person you were talking about, right? But we have those experiences too. I grew up in the hood just like you. And you're right. The people that were selling the most dope had the most worry about the police. But I never felt safe driving a car down the street. And not just because of some mythology put upon me, because police gave me a hard time. I had a license, please gave me a hard time because I was young and black and outside. Now, there are times where I had in the car I shouldn't have had. I don't disagree with that. They ain't know that though, right? And then there were other times in my life where I was completely legal, had a degree, was minding my own business, still got pulled over, still got a hard time. I literally sued the Philadelphia Police Department as a college professor because the guy pulled me out of the car and physically abused me. And I did nothing wrong. He just told me that I was in the wrong neighborhood. And I know when you start taking notes, I get nervous, but if you do the
Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? You're in a debate. Why are you nervous? Present your data, present your talking points, and refute where you can. You should not be nervous in a debate. That's how they catch you. But go ahead.
research on this police stop, the media did the thing you're talking about. They cast it as what was he doing out there, or decorated police officer versus hip hop professor, right? Because apparently, if a police officer stopped me as a black man at night, I had to be doing something wrong. Turned out I wasn't doing anything wrong. You know, he stopped me for illegal discharge of a passenger.
Mark, I get that anecdote. Here's my anecdote, and I wrote a note writing down Pres Belusi because I want to make that point, but I want to just, man, I've been driving a Mercedes Benz for, I think, since 1995, almost 30 years. Very nice.
You all of them old money now.
Yeah, all of them worth six figures or more. And I've been dressing the way I'm dressed now. Them whole.
So we flexing. Oh, okay, we flexing. Okay, go ahead.
30 years. Used to wear some jewelry. Used to dress, not like a professional.
How long you been
driving?
What? So wearing jewelry now is not professional? I didn't know this. I didn't realize that you can't wear a watch. You can't wear a chain. You wear a ring. That means you're unprofessional. I didn't know this. Thank you, Jason. You are telling us a lot right now. I'm forever in your debt. You're telling us a lot. Family, if you got a nice chain that you bought or somebody bought it for you, or a nice ring, you just want to go outside and you want to have a nice watch out so you can take pictures. You need, when you do that or you drive around, you got to be careful because the police going to fuck with you. According to Jason Whitlock, they're going to fuck with you. Just because you got on that ring. You could have bought the ring from Amazon for about $20 just because it looked good. And you might have had the outfit for it. The police are going to stop you for that $20 Amazon ring. According to this man, when they used to have it back in the day in the supermarkets, those little machines, 50 cents, and you get the little ring in the plastic, cops fixing to stop you as soon as you go outside, according to him. Just because you bought that 50-cent ring and you going into a nice car. I mean, it could be a Nissan Altima, shout out to Nurse Twitter. It could be a Toyota Corolla. It could, dare I say, it could even be a Honda Accord. You're going to get stopped by the police. Not for you being in that car, but for the 50-cent ring that you just bought from the supermarket. Ooh, more people walked in. I didn't even know this. Bills fan, 1970. Hello. SD Johnson. Hello. Black man to 777. Hello. Sylvia Taylor. Good morning. Cosmic Fury. Good morning. Yes. SD Johnson. Yes. It's going to get you hemmed up. You're going to get fucked up. Yes. They're going to drag you out of the car and y'all going to yell at me, but they going to pull a Chauvin on you, according to Jason Whitlock. Sylvia, what if I told you it's going to get worse? We didn't even scratch the surface yet. It's fixing to get worse.
How long have I been on TV? I probably started being on TV and on ESPN 1998, 99.
That's what, okay.
2000, I can't remember.
I mean, the both of time you're kind of famous too. I mean, that helps.
I'm able to discern when people are like, you're famous and I'm hooking you up, and when people that don't know me. And so, and I'm a speeder. I mean, I've been pulled over
Jason Whitlock is a criminal. Jason Whitlock is a criminal. That's why you're getting pulled over, sir. That's why you had those interactions with the police, which you're going to state in a few minutes. You're a criminal, and they know it. Thank you, Torian. Lock him up. Lock him up. And throw away the key. Make him do the perp walk. Make him do field sobriety tests on the double yellow. Make him recite his alphabet backwards. This nigga said Sizzler. Jesus. No, he's a little too fancy for that, Torian. He went to the Ponderosa. Sizzler said like this here because they saw him coming.
Fuck out of here.
They said, nah, the stake orders didn't come in yet. Sit down. So he had to go to Ponderosa. Why you think Ponderosa not around no more? Fogo de Chao. Bruh, they got his face at every single one. Fogo de Chao. They said limit. They see him coming, and he be like, hey guys, he be like, pushing to the limit. Limit. All the stake is on the man. You know how that go. Listen, reparations nation, you said Fogo slaps. We gonna talk one day. We finna talk one day. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook y'all up one day. Y'all give me your favorite restaurant or something. I'm gonna give you the alternative. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to hear this.
anytime. Generally speaking, always for speeding. But all of this driving while black things that everyone talks about with me riding around in a Mercedes, it just never happens. And I'm talking about, this is 29 straight years driving some kind of six-figure.
Nigga, you just said you're a speeder. What do you think they're going to do when they see a Mercedes speeding? You don't think they're going to pull you over? They're just going to let you ride. You've done stories where these football players were running in Lambos doing like 132, and you said they were idiots. But you're speeding in a Mercedes is somewhat okay. All right, go ahead.
Relatively new Mercedes, it just doesn't. And the other thing I will add, if you know anything about me, particularly the old me, I loved being in shady places. You know, again, when you hung out the kind of strip clubs I did and ran with the kind of friends I did, and you be out late at night, you're coming in, you go into nightclubs and all this other stuff, it just never happened. And so I hear everybody that wants to pretend like it happens all the time, but it's just not true. And I've dealt with some really bad police officers, but you kill them with kindness and they generally fold. I dealt with a racist cop driving 100 miles per hour back from Vegas to LA.
Do you hear this?
And this dude was
criminal. Lock him up. 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 He's snitching on himself. The FBI need to come see him. Nashville PD need to come see him right now. I know y'all got the footage. I know he be speeding through Nashville. When he was over there on West Coast need to go lock him up. Send him a summons. You got to come see us. We got all this footage. How are you snitching on yourself right now? How are you doing this? Oh, by the way, y'all want to know what song he was playing when he got out, before he got out of the car going to y'all's what Torian called the Sizzler? There you go. He knows about the limits at the restaurants. He said open him up. All right. Anyway, we're not gonna make no more fat jokes. Y'all can make it. I ain't gonna make it because I know he gonna come in here and tell me I'm pathetic again. No, he said all of us are pathetic. He just gonna cuss me. Probably call me retarded, which is fine. I'm finna put these on. All right, go ahead. Why is this? Who's doing his camera work? Why is his face so shiny? Jesus, that's why I gotta put these on. All right, go ahead. Screenshot.
Trying his best to trigger me and get an excuse to have something on me.
Trigger
I just
me.
kept killing this dude with kindness, and he folded. He didn't like
Triggered. I thought conservatives. I thought you so-called strong black men don't get triggered. You're not supposed to get. Isn't he one of the people that love to tell us you shouldn't, if you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't show any emotion to the cops. You should just ask their questions. Why are you bringing up the cop trying to trigger you? All you had to say was he was asking me questions. I didn't like him. I was just answering the questions that he was asking. I didn't move my tone or nothing. Why didn't you just start off with that? He's like, they're trying to trigger me. So people can get under your skin. You let this white cop get under your skin. Got it.
me, but he folded and he said, all right, man, get out of here, go. Because again,
I would say a couple things to that. One, I mean, you can't refute one anecdote with another anecdote, right?
I got 30 years of just driving around, though, man, and all this stuff. The police just pulling me over for no reason.
I'm with you, but again,
y'all got to cut. And I got too many black friends. All my boys from college, all of them. I got this. It's an exaggerated experience.
It's an exaggerated experience, but he got black friends. Oh, okay. Calvin Riley would like a word with you, sir. He'd like that one time. Philando Castile would. I know the brother transitioned, but he'd have liked the word with you. He'd have liked that. Walter Scott would have liked that word. Sandra Bland would have liked that word. He wasn't in the car, but Oscar Grant would have liked that word.
I know what we talk about.
But you're literally refuting
the Masterpiece Lounge. I'm just telling you, my father's business every day. And my father would carry some Crown Royal and his .38 pistol out of the Masterpiece Lounge in some kind of brand new Cadillac for 25 straight years. And the years before that, he was doing the same thing at Jimmy's J Bar J. All of this is in the hood. And the only time he ever pulled out his gun and pulled the trigger was when some knucklehead ninja in the hood tried to cross him. These problems with the police. And my father didn't like white people. His whole...
How you dry snitching on your old man? How you dry snitching on... How you just throw your father under the bus, the train, the airplane, and one of your old Mercedes Benzes? How you do that? Damn. Maybe people were right. The biggest hater of black men is another black man. You talk about your dad had the peace. He was about to pistol whip or shoot black men. What the fuck? That's not a flex, sir. But that statement right there just tells you he doesn't hang around black people, because even if that was the case, black people wouldn't have said it like that. We just said some shit like, you know what, my old man, he had the piece on him. Somebody tried to try him. He might have to regulate, and we keep it moving. We leave that up to interpretation. This nigga just threw his father under the bus. Oh Lord, here we go. Here we go. I almost want to say it's a wrap for your round, but we didn't even scratch the surface yet. Come here, TD and Rob. Come here.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
existence was black, He drove around with a cup of Crown in his car and his 38 pistol. But
So your dad does DUIs. Got it.
y'all act in the hood. And y'all, he
Right,
just
so-
got pulled over and harassed by police.
Right, but you're effectively saying, but here's why, again, my experience has been different in the hood than your experience in the hood. I'm not negating yours. I'm saying rather than try to center my hood experience or your hood experience, I'm saying we could use actual evidence and data, which people frequently appeal to. Because when people say black people commit most of the crimes, it ain't because you walk around watching black people commit most of the crimes. It's because that's what the data shows. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that that's what the data shows.
No.
He just whipped out per capita. Here we go. He just whipped out per capita. Okay. This is where it leads to. Continue, sirs.
I'm going to go beyond the data. It's what the funeral home show.
Oh,
It's what, and the people attend.
I'm going to let y'all have that one. I'm going to let y'all go off on that. You hear him? Funeral homes. I'm about to leave because I know y'all about to go off. I'm going to play it one more time for those who didn't hear him say it. He said it.
Watching black people commit most of the crimes is because that's what the data shows. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that that's what the data shows.
No. I'm going to go beyond the data. It's what the funeral home show.
I'm leaving because y'all about to throw everything. I'm leaving. That motherfucking number jumped from 0 to 5. I'm leaving again.
It ain't because you walk around watching black people commit most of the crimes. It's because that's what the data shows. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that that's what the data shows.
No. I'm going to go beyond the data. It's what the funeral home show.
Crimes, it ain't because you walk around watching black people commit most of the crimes. It's because that's what the data shows. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that that's what the data shows.
No. I'm going to go beyond the data. It's what the funeral home show.
That's what the data shows.
No. I'm going to go beyond the data. It's what the funeral home show.
Is it the funeral homes, according to you? Wouldn't that be data? He's not that bright when it comes to these intelligent conversations, is he? He probably should just stick to sports. I'm gonna be an asshole right now. You might as well, hey, Jason Whitlock, when it comes to these discussions, don't talk about it. You should just stick to sports. You might as well just shut up and write. You might as well just shut up and talk. You're more entertaining when you're lusting after Deion Sanders. You're more entertaining when you're trying to be the Simone Sanders to Caitlin Clark's Bernie Sanders. That's when you're entertaining. You should just shut up and commentate. I know to you that sounds like an oxymoron, because it is. Let me see what them comments looking like. You said my soul can't take this. Oh, Sylvia, Mark is gonna tell you his experiences. AJ Moore, good morning. Alfonso Morris, good morning. Yep, PCP, per capita pundits. I actually, you know what? I'm glad you said that, Cosmo. I got a meme that I'm gonna make. I thank you. He said he went beyond the porch house to challenge something concrete. Damn, you called him King Louis versus Caesar. Jesus. Mr. Ball said he needs to stick to snacks. Yes, he did. All right, let's continue.
It's what, and the people attending the funeral homes is getting the T-shirts made about Pookie dying and all that other stuff. We know where the murder draws police.
He told us something else we didn't learn, family. Murder draws police. He taught us something new. What? Murder draws police. Yes, Miss Nisi, enjoy your day. Murder draws police. Cool. So does the R word. So does robbery. So does bestiality. So does larceny. Both forms. Petty and grand. So does armed robbery. Assault with a deadly weapon. Vehicular homicide. Traffic accidents. Jaywalkers. Trespassing. But let's stick it on murder.
You're getting,
And we have a lot of
arguing
murder. We have a disproportionate number.
But Jason, you're arguing a point that
We have a lot of murder. Sir, the same data that you want to talk about, the numbers are about the same. So I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all are better off just saying disproportionate. Just keep saying that. But y'all act like white people don't commit murder. Y'all act like if you don't go to the UCR right now, the numbers are the same. Damn near. But okay, you got it. He got on the red trash bag for white folk. He about to be like Missy in the rain for white folk. He just gonna dodge them bullets. Go ahead.
I'm not making. I'm not disputing that murder draws police, and I'm not disputing that black people have high murder rates, even proportionate to our per capita representation. I've never made an argument to the contrary. That's a different point. Again, we can talk about that. We can have a long, we can have a conversation where we probably maybe even agree more than you think we would on that. That ain't my point. My point is statistically showing, as well as the anecdotes of many people I know, but I want to focus on the actual evidence. Black people have a different experience with law enforcement and different outcomes with law enforcement than their white counterparts. Now, you talk about driving a Benz for 30 years.
We have a different attitude in dealing with them. That's different.
So I'm about to go there. That's literally one of the things you said. I'm gonna go there. But I'm gonna get to the first point you made about the Benz. I think the myth of policing is that somehow police are always trying to pull the Negro over with the fancy car. That's actually not, according to the data, the primary person who gets pulled over. I drive a nice car too, and I've been pulled over less often in my Porsches and in my whatever else I had than I have when I drove a Honda. The police actually don't want to F with a ninja in a Benz and a Cadillac for a few reasons, right? This idea that they think the Negro stole. Black people are we don't go around stealing 600 Benzes. We don't go around stealing Bentleys and driving through the hood in them. If I either got the right paperwork or the right job. No, it's the Negro in the Honda Accord that got the work in the trunk. That's what they actually work.
Hey, all my Negroes with the Honda Accord, how much work you got in the trunk? Because Marc Lamont Hill want to know how much work you got in there. Why are you? Damn. All my Negroes that be riding around the Corollas, how much work y'all got in the trunk? All my Negroes that love their Crown Vics, how much work you got in the trunk? Why you worried about a man's work? What is? So Marc Lamont Hill, so black man in a nice car, in a Honda Accord, Crown Vic, what they call it, the Hellcats, what's that called? The Chargers, the Nissans. So now you're talking, so the cops would just assume that we all got work in the car. Thank you, the Buick that they used Tiger Woods to sell for years. They got work in the car. The Chryslers, the 300s, they got work in the car. So black man just can't ride in a mid-size, reasonably priced car because he should be afraid that he got work in the car. I'm surprised he didn't say something about them SUVs. That motherfucker probably got a whole opium factory back there, if we're going to go by his logic. I hate this. Marc Lamont Hill, you're going to have to come here, sir. I'm sorry. Bruh, I understand it's an election season and you're doing this. It's about time, sir.
You bring him here. Right here. Do you hear me? Right here.
What?
You heard what I said. Just do it.
I might have to pull up on you next Wednesday. I might have to. Because he did a Q&A last night, so I'm thinking he probably does it on Wednesdays. I might have to pull up on him. Because I can't believe he just said this. But it makes sense because he's going to say something later that I want y'all to hear. He's going to say something that's going to contradict everything he just said. But before we get into that, JD Informant, thank you for the $1.50 super sticker. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Bills fan say he got a Honda. I feel attacked. Listen, go tell Marc Lamont Hill that in his comment thread. Travis Ware say he got the Honda Fizz loaded with work. You keeping it where the spare tire is, correct? Or do y'all have that flap in the trunk where you can just lift it up? That's where you keep the work, right? Bruh. I did that a couple of weeks ago. When I found out he revived the channel, he ain't calling me. I think I got, you know what it is? I got to be like Bucci Bear and be disrespectful. Maybe that's when he'll answer me, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I really don't. I actually want to talk because I can't believe this man just said this. Okay, Mark, let's play your logic game. How about this? Then I should assume, since you think black men got to work in the car, in a reasonably priced car, that means Nissan Altima Twitter, you know, the nurses, they're running whole cartels in there, right? That's the logic we're going to use, right? How come you're not advocating for the racy nurse, aka the RNs? They make all that money, but they probably are running mini cartels in their Nissan Altimas. SD Johnson 857. Thank you for the $10 super chat. You said you bring him here on the Fat Locks case. You bring them here. That's a blessing.
About, and that's who's getting harassed. When you look at the data on New Jersey highways, for example, the people getting pulled over were more black than white, disproportionate to their representation. The people who they found more drugs in, what they call the hit ratio, was higher among white people. If they stopped every white person statistically, they'd have a better chance of getting drugs and guns than black people. But they don't stop white people indiscriminately or disproportionately. Now, you're right. Your attitude with a police officer absolutely shapes your outcome. If I say, what the F you stopping me for, I'm going to get a different outcome. I'll give you a perfect example. I got pulled over about a month ago. I was literally taking food to my daughter who's getting her hair braided. I had my now 2-year-old son in the trunk, and I was literally talking to my wife on.
Sir, that's why they stopped you. Your 2-year-old was in the trunk. Why is your 2-year-old in the trunk? I know y'all gotta tell me that's slang. I know, but to Jason Whitlock's white audience, they're gonna be like, "Why is your kid in the trunk? Why did you put the baby with the car seat in the trunk? Do you know that the baby can flop around?" Marc Lamont Hill, how the hell you gonna have the baby next to the jumper cable, sir? Let me guess. You went to the grocery store, you put the groceries in there, and then you put the baby back in the trunk? Bruh. This man put the baby in the trunk above where he keeps the spare tire. You had the baby next to brake fluid, sir. You had the baby next to this man had the baby next to the antifreeze. You know how dangerous it is to have babies near antifreeze, sir. And I have to apologize to Marc Lamont Hill before I continue. I thought he was of LGBTQ. He's actually married with a wife. I did not know this. I don't know why for all these years I thought he was LGBT. I apologize on that. I'm big enough to apologize. Back to this, sir. You had your baby next to the power steering fluid. You had your baby next to the motor oil. Come on, bro. This is not what black fathers do. Come on. This is not what we do. This man put the baby back in the trunk. Facts, slanderous truth. He had the baby next to the work. Oh my God.
Life has definitely been lifing. I'm going to keep you guys updated with.
Bruh, how you got to explain that when you go home to your old lady carrying the kid in the car, talking about, I got pulled over. She asked, why'd y'all get pulled over? Well, I had the baby in the trunk. And the cop thought when he opened the trunk, he asked me to open the trunk. I said, nah. He said, why? He's like, because the baby's in the trunk. And I had the baby next to the work. And he had to go, and he's like, yeah, now I got to go to court and explain why I had the baby in the trunk. But I can't tell him that I had to work next to it. She's like, okay, now I got to go with you. And while the judge is rendering judgment, she's saying to him silently.
We in this because of you. What was you thinking? I wasn't.
Nigga had the baby next to the work. All right. Go ahead, Mark. Tell us more about how you had the baby next to the work.
On the Bluetooth, talking to her, and I got pulled over, leaving Philadelphia in this area called Willow Grove. Police officer, he was doing all the stuff police do when they about to pull you over. And I was like, I said to her, I haven't pulled over in forever. Because like you said, I don't get pulled. I'm too old to get pulled over. My car's too nice to get pulled over. I don't commit no crimes. I was not expecting to get pulled over. He pulls me over and he says, do you know why I stopped you? I said,
standard question. Yep.
Yeah. I said, I have no idea, officer. He said, your license is expired. I said, how do you know my license is expired? He said, well, I saw your car. He said, I mean, he wasn't, let me be clear, perfectly nice. Could have been nicer. He said, I saw your car. I ran the tags and I realized that your license expired. And my license had been expired for like 2 days. I literally updated on the website like while I was sitting there. Not a big deal. He didn't give me a ticket. He let me go. I'm sure me wearing a wedding ring. I'm sure me having a kid in the back. I'm sure it's like, he said, well, I saw your car. He said, in forever. Because like you said, I don't get, I'm too old to get police wife on the Bluetooth talking to her, and I food to my daughter who's getting her hair braided. I had my now 2-year-old son in the trunk, and I was literally talking to my wife on the Bluetooth, talking to her.
He got the sniff nose.
Her, and I got pulled over, leaving Philadelphia in this area called Willard Grove. Police officer,
Willard Grove.
He was doing all the stuff police do when they about to pull you over. And I was like, I said to her, I haven't pulled over in forever. Because like you said, I don't get pulled. I'm too old to get pulled over. My car's too nice to get pulled over. I don't commit no crimes. I was not expecting to get pulled over. He pulls me over and he says, do you know why I stopped you? I said,
standard question. Yep.
Yeah. I said, I have no idea, officer. He said, your license is expired. I said, how do you know my license is expired? He said, well,
he's a cop.
Oh, I saw your car. He said, I mean, he wasn't, let me be clear, perfectly nice. Couldn't have been nicer. He said, I saw your car. I ran the tags and I realized that your license expired. And my license had been expired for like 2 days. I literally updated on the website like while I was sitting there. Not a big deal. He didn't give me a ticket. He let me go. I'm sure me wearing a wedding ring. I'm sure me having a kid in the back. I'm sure me being polite. All helped. If I said, you racist ass biatch, what you doing? He might have took the car, right? Which you can do in Philadelphia because of a livestock program. Point is, I am relatively certain that he pulled me over because he saw a car and a person who didn't, who something seemed out of place to him. I seemed out of place to him entering Willow Grove, which is not really a super black neighborhood, and I was driving a car that he did not expect. And I looked younger than I am, and I was dressed like you and I are right now. Once he saw that I wasn't committing a crime, he absolutely treated me different. But the difference between me and my white counterpart is, had I been white, I don't believe he would have stopped me in the first.
Sir, you did commit a crime. Your license was expired. That's a crime. Remember? That's a crime.
Place. I accept accountability for giving him. It's all speculation.
That's speculation. No, I got it. That's speculation. Because again, I could bring on white people that could tell you about their horrible experiences with the police. Again, because it's just like we act like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. If you ever,
damn, I'm leaving again. Y'all about to get, man. I'm leaving again. I'm putting on the music. I'm leaving again. Y'all about to lose it. I'm leaving. I'm finna put this music on. Where is it? There you go. I'm leaving. Wait, y'all left. Wait, they left. Shit. I'm leaving.
people that can tell you about their horrible experiences with the police. Again, because it's just like we act like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. Like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. Like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. Like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. Act like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. Like George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick. George Floyd is the worst police killing we've ever seen. That's a lie, a myth. It's a gimmick.
What I tell you about them conservatives, boy? They have no regard for human life. None. Them fools really watched a man, a human being, because again, they don't see color. They tell us don't look at color. Okay, you saw a human being, one of God's creatures, get their life snuffed out on film for 12 minutes. And y'all cool with that. Now, peep this, family. Now they're trying to bring up Tony Timpa again when they finally have to say something about them cops. Tony Timpa was on the ground longer than George Floyd, sir. But y'all were real silent about that. How many of y'all really reported on the fact that his son finally got his judgment? He only got $1 million. When y'all didn't say a word, y'all bypassed that. Y'all getting y'all tweets ready because today is April 25th. In 1 month, y'all about to go off on George Floyd talking about he drug free for 4 years. This is what I mean, family. That these conservatives here, they got no empathy for human life, even though they want to talk about God and all this. God gonna bitch slap every single one of y'all when y'all get up there. And before we come through that gate, if you believe in that to the Most High, he gonna have them screens right there so we can see. You just type in somebody's name and you just see God just bitch slapping them for that statement. How dare you, sir? How dare you? What y'all said? I see paragraphs over here. Okay, so y'all pissed. Say less. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, you motherfuckers went off. Wait a minute. Y'all went off. Okay, let's see. You say you broke up a fight and you were arrested? Hell yeah. Sylvia Taylor said, OMG, this client just said he's too old to be pulled over by the cops. Newsflash, Mount Hill, the police pull over elderly black people and use saw and tase them as well. He saw that, but he's ignoring it for purposes of this. Cosmo Fury said, this ninja. Torian said, explain to us, Jason, what was the worst police killing we've ever seen? He's going to mention somebody white. I'm sorry, but watching a man lose his life on film, I don't care what context, is bad. Especially at the hands of police. That's bad. I don't want to see that. Now, I can understand if somebody says Jalen Walker was bad because of the way they did him. I get it. But this ain't no, I'm trying to one up you. This is not a contest of that. The fact that that came out of his mouth just tells you that it doesn't matter when it comes to police. If you get gunned down, you get snuffed out, it's okay. That's what he's telling you because it's black. These conservatives get off on watching black people get killed. And I said it, and I dare any of you conservatives come over here and tell me otherwise. Mike Lewis, hello. You seem new, but welcome. Nah, somebody else uses the Twilight Zone music. I don't like doing that. I don't want to steal people gimmick like that. Talking out the side of his neck. What the F is this dude saying? This dude has lost all his dang mind. Well, the little mind that he got. Looking like he about to have a heart attack on the spot. So go eat a McRib and be quiet. He's delusional. He doesn't know white people who got harassed by rape. He actually does. You're going to hear that in a minute. He does. No neck, Whitlock. Marc Lamont would have been a slave master's favorite slaves on the plantation because they would have sold out every slave and gotten a lot of slaves lynched. Oof. Jabba the Hutt. Fatlock, you saw Chicago P. He dumped close to 100 rounds in an unnecessary traffic stop. According to him, that was justified by his logic. It's justified because he had the gun in the car. Fatlock, did you not hear about the Goon Squad, Tyree Nichols, Inhumanity from the Blue? Y'all don't remember? Oh, y'all remember. Come on, people. Y'all remember. Y'all remember. Y'all don't remember? Y'all don't remember? Family, y'all don't remember? Come on, y'all remember? I played this the other day.
Everyone's behaving inappropriately, including these 5 Memphis police officers. It's an open and shut case. The camera from above captures the police doing something totally illegal. The second-degree murder charges are warranted. This is going to be a revisitation of the Walter Scott, the guy that got shot on camera by a cop in the back. He got convicted, went to prison. It's open and shut case. This is too. I don't get what people are protesting about.
So Walter Scott's killer, that's okay. Tyree Nichols people who killed him, they should get, that's open and shut. But you watch Chauvin kill George Floyd, that's not open and shut. Okay. Conservative logic.
There are 5 black officers. The victim is black. The police chief is black. The police have been fired and charged, and they will be convicted, I would assume, by a predominantly black jury in a city that's 65% black. So the system is going to work here. What the other system that's working is the corporate media's
which you're talking on.
Insistence on promoting racial division.
Which you're talking on.
At the behest, in my view, of the military-industrial complex. They want us all looking at this and not looking at what they're doing in Ukraine as they drag America.
We had enough energy and wherewithal to look at both. Y'all don't want to do that.
And the world into World War III. This is a distraction, in my opinion. CNN hyped this video like they were hyping the Super Bowl. And there's really only 60 seconds of relevant content. You show the police misconduct from overhead as they brutalize this man and make it clear this is an open and shut case and the guys are going to be convicted, and we move on. They treated this like a Super Bowl, enraging people, promoting the violence, and this is the most important story in the history of the planet. It's not. What's going on in Ukraine and our military involvement in Ukraine, that's the most important story going on in the world, but they don't want you focused on that.
That is such a good point. And you
element. And this is a story about young black men devote an hour of coverage to this and weekend coverage of this, and they want to take us to a good place. I would examine the racial element of this because there is a racial element. And this is a story about young black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was
so y'all will, that's your man's. That's your man's. That's your man's.
If you ever saw the kid out in Arizona, you ever saw the dude out in Arizona that got executed by white people while on his knees, by white police officers, while on his knees outside of his hotel, and we're pretending like the George Floyd thing is the worst thing that's ever happened? No.
It's the same exact thing. It's the similar story. You see what he did? Tony Tempest, we gotta that was egregious. George Floyd, not egregious. Both of them were on drugs, sir. Both of them were on drugs. According to y'all. Both of them had drugs in their system. So how come the white man get grace, but George Floyd don't get grace? By the way, sir, maybe you forgot about this. Even the store clerk who allegedly took the $20 that they said allegedly was fake, they still don't know if it was fake or not. Y'all ain't got no smoke for him because he's the reason why George Floyd is gone, besides Chauvin. He's the reason. But why didn't y'all come around and say, listen, when George Floyd died, why didn't you say this is eerily reminiscent of Tony Temple? We need to make sure that we get all the facts straight. Y'all had that man dead to rights while he was having his family contacted saying that he passed away. Y'all condemn that man. And when that video dropped, it got worse. Oh, Tony Temple. Okay, that was 2016. That's old news. Them cops need to go to jail. But Chauvin gets convicted and y'all go running outside on y'all platforms crying, saying this is wrong. Okay, we understand what kind of white man y'all love. We got it. Go ahead.
I don't know why I can't think of the dude's name off the top.
Who?
Go ahead.
The point
I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
When you said the cop,
You cape it for a white man, don't even know his name. You see what I'm saying?
pulled you over, he was racist. That's speculation. When you said he let you go because you were so charming, that's speculation. Every anecdote is filled with speculation. There's nothing uniquely.
No. Let me be clear what I said about the cop in LA. I felt like he was racist because every question he thought he had pulled over Suge Knight. I'm telling you, and every question because every question he thought he had pulled over Suge Knight. I'm telling you, and every question was
pulled over Suge Knight. Suge Knight. Suge Knight. Damn, he just bringing out all the oldies. Suge Knight.
Disrespectful and trying to trigger me.
How do you know he wouldn't have done it to a white person though, Jason? You're speculating.
He might have. He might have.
Racist.
But
so how is he racist? If you're going to concede to that point that he's not racist anymore, maybe that's just how he conducts his investigations. A lot of cops do that. They want to rile up people just so they can have an excuse to violate your Fourth Amendment rights. Again, I bring up Calvin Riley. That lady did an investigation talking about I smell marijuana. Where's your marijuana card? He told you, I don't smoke marijuana. She's like, well, I smell in the car. Nobody's been in the car. Investigation over. Continue your thing. She used that to violate that man. But you didn't say a word about that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did. And you said he was wrong. You gave them cops no quarter. You said they were right.
All right, let me pause. I know you're a reasonable person. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Are you willing to just concede that you're speculating about that cop being racist?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, at all times, human beings make.
He pulled me over for justifiable reasons, though.
Okay, so you got pulled over for justifiable. So you were upset that the cop treated you that way, thinking you thought he was racist because you're a criminal. That's how he deals with criminals. So you should understand that being a criminal, you're going to get treated differently, correct? Correct. So you should also concede to the fact that even the cops and the FBI have admitted that there's a different set of rules when you deal with Black people. I'll let the Latinos tell their story because I don't do the Black and brown. Cops have admitted this on film. They have a different playbook when it comes to Black folks. One of them even said on film, hiding in the darkness, we're told when it's a white person, we conduct our investigations normally. When it's a Black person, we have to automatically assume they're in violation of something. or they're going to be aggressive. Screenshot Marc Lamont Hill. Don't never make that face again. You're forever.
It's like the cop who pulled me over.
Dipping in and out of lanes and all that other stuff. He pulled me over for justifiable reason.
Right,
and then when I rolled the window down, he's like, "Oh, I got Suge Knight here. Let me trigger this. Let me trigger this Negro." I wouldn't allow it, and he folded and let me go and said, "Go."
Did he really say that, sir? And if he did, why didn't you file a complaint?
On your way.
But you see, but this is what happens in the race conversation, not just among the right, but among lots of people. We honor our own experience. Like, you feel completely comfortable saying that your subjective experience was fueled by a racist cop that you defused. But when you hear mine, you hear that's just pure speculation, and you're reluctant to believe that my assessment of the cop is racist is legitimate, whereas you're comfortable with yours. And you might say it's because you're more reserved in your distribution of racism.
No. I provided you a tiny bit of evidence. Like, he was disrespectful for me and repeatedly kept asking me questions to trigger me. You said the cop treated you nicely. Well, this is years ago. I'm asking for the specific details.
Make an example.
I can't remember.
Was it racially triggering, or was it just like an asshole question? Is what I'm asking.
It was a series of like just a disrespectful tone that I would. Because
he was being an asshole. That's the point of them trying to get a rise out of you. They're willfully being assholes. They want you to react to it. I've told this story before. I went to White Castle when I was still living in New York. I went to White Castle, got something to eat. The White Castle happened to be in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'm going home. I get pulled over in the next town over, predominantly white. I had a 97 Maxima. I got pulled over. The white cop came out the car and said, I had all my information out already. Because I was like, I didn't do nothing, but whatever. I'm not in this bullshit. Because I know what town I'm in. I'm not playing with this. And if for those who don't know, this was a local jurisdiction. This wasn't even like the county police. So they have their own set of rules, but whatever. I was ready to give him the documents. He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, I literally just went to White Castle to get something to eat. He said, what the fuck are you doing in my town? I was like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I just answered this question. I get what you're doing. I was like, I'm literally going home after going to White Castle. He's like, well, your car fit the description of a car that we're looking for that was just involved in a robbery. I'm like, I'm literally, I moved back. I'm back in my seat a little bit just to show him, because I had the bag on my passenger seat. I was like, I literally just went to White Castle. There's the food right there. So he saw it. He's like, yeah, get the fuck out of my town. I was like, all right. And I drove home. So for Jason to say what he just said is that's oh man. He acts like that's just that between me and him, that's the only times it's ever happened in history. Asshole.
Again, I got a standard operating procedure with police. Officer, I apologize. What did I do? Blah, blah, blah. He's hitting me back with all kinds of negative energy and questions. It's like he's not meeting me with the same energy I'm meeting him with.
But he clearly thinks what I'm saying. Might be. Right. So my only point is.
But you said I'm just saying, I just offered a tiny bit of evidence. Your evidence you presented was the cop treated you great and respectfully. Again, now I just think he hasn't given you any evidence that it's race. Let me move to one other point, and then we can circle back.
We can move on, but I can't allow you to say that. The evidence that I gave you was that he said to me, I saw you in your car, and you looked out of place. That's the point. Now, he could have been out of place.
I think, back up the tape.
What do you mean that's new? He literally said that. He literally... Conservatives, is this your fat uncle? Conservatives, is this your fat uncle? He literally said that when he started talking about that situation. He said you looked out of place because he was in a nice neighborhood in a nice car. You looked out of place. He literally said that. And you're not listening because, again, conservatives love to shut down once they say whatever they want to say. They don't give a fuck about nobody else's opinion unless it's another conservative. And what we have seen over the last few months is they won't even take another conservative's perspective seriously. They'll accuse them of being a liberal, or they're just trying to argue just to argue. Continue.
I don't think you said that originally, but maybe you did.
If I wasn't clear that I misspoke, but that was the point. Is that I don't think he hates black people. I think he saw a Negro that looked out of place and wondered if I stole the car. And maybe there's a lot but at the end of the day, we're always making questions.
So you're going to steal the car with a 2-year-old in the car. You're going to put your kid at risk to go in the CPS. Okay.
It's about whether we got treated this way.
Wait, but he wouldn't have known that you had the kid in the car because you had the kid in the trunk with the work.
That way based on our race. My point is white people don't have to do that. That's part of why we say that the system itself is white people aren't having those questions. No one is saying
let me say this, Mark. Let me say this, Mark, because this is the other one that cracks me up. Is we all sit around and go, oh my God, I had to have the talk with my child. I had to tell him how to act with the police. And every time I hear,
so who the fuck else is going to teach him? Oh, Jason, you want the streets to teach him. Listen to this, family. So he wants the streets. He wants this child, this black child's friends to shape how they talk to the police, not the parents. You're maligning the parents for having that talk. But I'm pretty sure you're not going to criticize Larry Elder's old man who had to have the talk with him as well and his brothers, correct? Because he's told that anecdote many a time over many a year. But you and your white counterparts say that's a real father. That's what he's supposed to do. Now, all of a sudden, it's a problem. We're not supposed to teach our kids how to interact with people and interact with the police, especially because they have the power of ending life. Sir, I'm pretty sure your father taught you how to talk to the police. I'm sure you probably seen your father get pulled over or accosted by the police, and you saw how he interacted with them and how he got to go home. And you internalize that and say, okay, he did it this way. All right, that must be the right way. Here you go. He's going to malign parents for having the talk.
We all sit around and go, oh my God, I had to have the talk with my child. I had to tell him how to act with the police. And every time I hear it, I go, what? And I apologize. Effing parent would not give their child instructions on how to engage with the police. You would, if you think.
So why are you making fun of people for having that conversation? Just because they said it out loud?
A white parent has never said like, hey, look, if you get pulled over, do X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. This is how you can get out of the ticket. This is how you can avoid any trouble. Of course they do that. But again,
but you just
we put ourselves.
You see how you just came for white people again? So for white people, it's cool. Because white people have done this out loud as well. I've seen videos of white people saying, hey, I got pulled over by the police. This is what I did. You're literally teaching other people what to do. But a black parent trying to teach their kids how to talk to the police, you're somehow going to make fun of that. Because they said it out loud.
You just made it seem as if the conversation is about how to get out of a ticket. The issue isn't do you tell your kids how to deal with police. You tell your kids how to deal with waiters, police, first dates.
Yes.
We tell, right.
Yes. So let's quit acting like we're the only people that have the talk.
No.
The talk. Oh my God.
Nobody said that. Nobody ever said that, sir. Nobody ever said that. Y'all made fun of it because it was black folks.
Jason, that's not the talk. The talk is here's a conversation you have to have with law enforcement to ensure that you make it home. My white middle class friends.
Oh, stop it. Stop. Okay, you love the data. You love the data. There's no parent other than some delusional person that's living off in fantasy land that honestly believes that, like, oh my God, if my son or daughter gets pulled over, I'm talking about black people, this is what you have to do to make it home or they're going to kill you.
No.
The numbers don't back that up.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to help you. I want you to go search. There was a white woman in Colorado who got pulled over with her biracial son in the car. They fucked her son up in front of her. She said, and I quote, I didn't know how to comfort him. because I didn't think that experience could ever happen. I didn't know what to do. And her son became bitter and angry. And they lived good. They didn't live in the hood. Oops. You can go search online right now. There's a video of a guy getting pulled out of his car in front of his children, getting his ass kicked by the police. And he was being respectful because he knew what he had in the car. And the cop didn't give a fuck. But let Jason tell it.
Don't back that up at all. You know what the conversation we have is like, here's the conversation we actually have. If you go into that nightclub where they have a metal detector at the front door, here's how you engage with them Negroes that you're going to be twerking with all night.
I hate this man. I hate this man. This man is really going to act like them clubs. You really going to sit there, Jason Whitlock, and really say that clubs, only black clubs have metal detectors? That's what we're doing in 2024 when club culture was popping. Sir, I went to Webster Hall. Okay, I went to, what was it? Club A? Yeah, Club A on Essex Street. Those are white clubs. You still had to get patted down. I don't know no club that's, we'll say, exclusively racial that didn't have security patting people down. And it wasn't just because of weapons. They wanted to make sure you didn't have drugs because they don't need that scrutiny, sir. We're not going to do this. We're really not going to do this. But you see how he always censors all the negative shit with black people? Sir, you're part of the black community too, even though you're a coon. They don't like you. Fine, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. Since you black conservatives don't get it, might as well tell you now before 11/5. So you don't accuse us of never telling you that this was going to happen. Jason Whitlock, you and the rest of these black conservatives that love talking about black people like this, you want to know why you've cultivated so much of an audience? It's not because you're right. It's not because you are saying something different. They like you because you're safe and stupid. I'm going to say that again. They like y'all because you're safe and stupid. What do I mean? You're safe. You're never going to buck the narrative. Once you started opening your mouth about black people, they listened. They said, let me hear what else he got. By the third time you opened your mouth, they figured, oh, this motherfucker's safe. We ain't never got to worry about this man. Never. We ain't got to worry about this woman. Never. Why do you think Candace Owens is getting so much shit right now? She played that role for years. Now she wants to buck. They said no. And what have they been doing? Oh, they went through her past. Did you know, Jason? We're gonna help you. Did you know they started publishing her photos online of her husband and the kids? You know, the same ones where she said she'd never do it again. Yeah. Slowly but surely, her kids are starting to show up on the internet. Safe. They know you're stupid. You're gonna regurgitate anything they tell you. Anything you see online, regardless if it's true or not, you're going to regurgitate it. And they got you. The second you say, you know what? I did a little bit of revision that might have been wrong. They're going to start pulling your data. I'm pretty sure you got an arrest somewhere that you hid. When you got arrested at that Kansas City, New England game, they're going to point that out. They're going to call you a criminal. You're going to be part of per capita. Just like us. You know, the place you don't want to be. You safe and stupid Negroes don't even understand how white supremacy works. You thought COINTELPRO was bad? Boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. But continue. Go ahead.
if some shit jumps off, here's what I want you to do, baby boy, to avoid getting shot up at one of these nightclubs because it happens. That's the conversation we have.
No, but two things, now, Jason, but listen to me now. Hear me out. Two things can be true simultaneously. I have my daughters are grown. My son is 2. If my daughters were going to a one of them is in university right now. She's 20. If she were going to a college party, I wouldn't be worried about a shootout at her fancy university. I wouldn't tell her how to deal with a shootout, but I would tell her how to deal with somebody roofing her drink. Why? Because that's a legitimate problem in that context. It doesn't mean that everywhere you
go to any house parties. You ever go to any house parties? Did you ever go to any house parties?
Oh yeah, of course.
House party, yeah. That's house party. Did you ever go any all black nightclubs where they have a metal detector and a full pack?
No, but hear me out.
What the fuck? Again. He acts like the all racial club does not have a metal detector. It's just only all black clubs. Damn it. This fucking guy. So the all white bar doesn't have somebody roaming around for security. The bartender don't got the gun behind the bar. That don't happen, right? I've been to all white clubs. They had metal detector. They had the big old Italian looking dude in the 3-piece suit patting you down. What do you mean? Okay, sir. You got it.
TSA. That's our nightclub experience.
Jason, let me finish my example and you'll understand that we're not necessarily disagreeing. I'm just adding something. Just hear what I'm saying first. With my daughter, I tell her how to deal with a roofie at a college party because that's what happens on college campuses. If she were going to the nightclub in the hood, I would tell her the thing you're just describing. Because in the hood, you're more likely to get shot than you are at a college Ivy League party. Again, if you hear me out, you realize I wasn't disagreeing with you on that point. Similarly, though, when oftentimes when my white middle class or upper middle class or rich friends give their kids the conversation or the talk about
nigga, what did you just say?
Elite party. Again, if you hear me out, you realize I wasn't disagreeing with you on that point. Similarly, though, when oftentimes when my white middle class or upper middle class or rich friends give their kids the conversation or the talk about how to deal with police officers, they're telling them how to not piss the officer off, how to not get a stupid misdemeanor ticket if they got weed in the car, how to not get a ticket when they'll usually say, hey, you go to this fancy school.
Lock them up. If they got weed in the car, lock them up. Now, Mark, where are your rich black friends at? Why didn't you give us that anecdote?
Just be polite, going about your business. But when I have a talk with my son, who's now only 2, right? So I haven't had that talk. I ain't gonna lie to you. But when I have that talk, as I've had it with my nephews, I'm more thinking about don't make a sudden reach. Don't reach in the glove box. Say, officer, I'm reaching in the glove box. I don't find that my white.
Do you plan on your son going to college? Your 2-year-old son going to college? Do you plan on that?
I do.
Can you show me any example of some black college kid who got shot by police, pulled over in a routine traffic stop?
Yes, I can. I'm happy to furnish it for you. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Right now. Oh, gotcha.
I thought you were asking if I could memorize.
What the fuck? So because he can't recall that name off top, it didn't happen. So we just missed Rayshard Brooks. Okay, got it. We just missed Rayshard Brooks. Okay, he's college age. We just gonna miss that. Okay. Okay. Got it. Thanks, Jason. You're teaching us well.
If you're no, but it's just like you got to have this talk because this is somehow commonplace with college-educated black kids, and I got to blah blah. It's just not. Now, if you have a long criminal record, and I got some family members that do, I'll have the talk with them. Hey, watch your mouth. Don't be cussing at these people. If you got a gun on you, let him know. Blah blah blah. All of that. But
I'm telling everybody that though.
Your son that's going to college is so unlikely to be harmed by police, and you know it, and everybody knows it, and we don't have to move off into fantasy land and pretend like, oh my God, we better have a talk with this boy. And again, the only shooting that happened at Ball State, the only shooting that happened.
Here we go, Jason. Let me help you, sir. Bam. Let me help you. There you go. There's a name right there for you. There's a name for you right there. I actually remember this. This happened in New York. There you go. That brother would be 34, probably with a family right now. Interesting how that works out, right? Very interesting how that works out.
Happened at Ball State when I was a student at Ball State. A dude left the house party we threw at 801 University Avenue.
He dry snitching again.
In 1989 or 90, and y'all can go look it up. Dude left my house party. He had an argument with his girlfriend upstairs. We shut down the party. He went back and shot and killed her. Only shooting I remember at Ball State. Police uninvolved, white folks uninvolved. Everybody at the party was black. He was black. His girl was black. I can't remember his name, but maybe one of my boys will be watching. They'll remember. But we got to move out of this fantasy land. I want to make one other point about Prez Belusi because I wrote this note down because I love that you brought up Prez Belusi because I try to point it out. And so you brought up Prez Belusi. Remember about it? He did the. And the point of Prez Belusi was, which I thought was brilliant in the show. Prez Belusi really is a raging liberal, and he left the police force because he wasn't qualified. His uncle hooked him up with the job or whatever, and he goes to work in the school system. And the whole point of that was just like to subtly show you, like, hey man, these cops get put in tough situations, and some of them get jobs that they're not qualified for, and they do stupid things out of character. The whole point, Prez Belusi becomes the hero of season 4 and 5, basically, because of his love and his devotion to these black kids in Baltimore. And he's the guy. And some of them get jobs that they're not qualified for, and they do stupid things out of character. The whole point, Prez Belusi becomes the hero of.
Did this man just admit that a lot of these cops get in, they're not qualified, and they do stupid things, but he's still caping for them? Because they might not be liberal? So by your logic, sir, Chauvin is friends with bullets. They shouldn't have been on the street because they were being investigated. The cops that killed Eric Garner should have been on the street because they have a history as a unit of doing bullshit. That sounds like they're not qualified. You're literally arguing what Black Grassroots has been arguing for years, sir. A lot of these cops are out here. They're not qualified. But because they're white, you're going to give them a pass. But you just said to Tucker Carlson a couple of years ago that the cops that did Tyree Nichols, they came out of single mother homes and they don't know how to conflict resolve. So a black cop that does something like that, they're automatically not qualified, but we got to give caveats to the white and the non-black ones. I wonder how you feel about Peter Liang and Akai Gurley. Let me guess, you're going to say Akai Gurley shouldn't have been running down the stairs, right? He shouldn't have been in that hallway, in that stairwell when the bullet went off, right? All right.
Season 4 and 5, basically, because of his love and his devotion to these black kids in Baltimore. And he's the guy that in over his head as a cop, they get in a tough situation where weren't they getting bottles and TVs thrown at him or something, and he overreacts.
No.
And
he hit the bottles came because he hit the guy, not the opposite. You got to represent it properly. That's just accurate.
Nah, I think it was going on beforehand.
That's not true.
I really do. Something was going on. They were hiding and running. I can't remember.
I can't remember. Okay, I know you're a Wire nerd. I'm a Wire. I am in Wire nerd times 4. I'm telling you, they started throwing shit after he hit him. That was their response.
So what triggered? Because like Carver
got
he given instructions.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
he got on the car and said we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then I thought that's what triggered people. Someone threw a bottle at Carver or something. Yeah.
We can. I disagree, but the audience will hash that out. That there's enough Wire nerds out there. But the bigger. But you.
My whole point was President Belusky, liberal white dude, love black people, did something really stupid and illegal, and
that makes my point though.
It makes my point. What's that? He was not motivated by racism.
No, listen to me.
He was motivated by stupidity. Same reason he pulled out his gun or accidentally shot through the wall at the police station. He was incompetent and in over his head.
Right, but you're making. I'm gonna tell you why you're making my point real fast. It'll take 20 seconds, if that. My point is, I never assume that racist actions or racist outcomes are the result of white people who have hate in their heart. I'm saying the systems are structured in such a way that even well-meaning people carry out that work, even unintentionally. I agree with you. President Belusky's a good guy, but in that system, he still did something to that young black man that he would not have done on the other side of town. That's the point I'm making.
So,
fair?
Okay, Mark, somewhat fair, but Mark, every system has incompetence in it. Whatever university you're teaching at, Temple, are you still at Temple? I can't remember, but wherever university, there's incompetence, and people get harmed out of that incompetence. They don't.
And there's incompetence in the cops, but you're still giving them a pass because they get to deal with black people and they get to knock their heads and you get to react on it and make money off of it. That's the point he's making. But again, you missed it. That's what we've been telling y'all for years. The cops are incompetent. The cops are white supremacists. We've been telling y'all this. Now that they're bashing heads now y'all want to say something. Now y'all want to have a conversation. Before it was just ignore it. Y'all's FBI told you that was going on. Y'all wanted to ignore it because it didn't affect you. Now it's affecting you. Now you want to have that conversation. You better go sit down and reconcile that with your people and your mama. They're not going to hug you, Jason, when you lose everything that you've worked for. They're not going to hug you. You know what's going to end up happening? Again, safe and stupid. They're going to say, hey, that dude, he was funny back in the day. Now he's just a loss. Same thing they did with Jesse Lee Peterson. You fixing to go down that same route. You're going to be down making YouTube shorts about issues, trying to promote you don't even have your own channel, sir. This channel is owned by The Blaze. When they get rid of you after the 5th of November, you're going to get the passwords changed on you. You're going to have to start from the bottom. And nobody's going to take you serious. We're going to be sitting there laughing at you when you have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers in your new studio in your house. When you're getting, instead of getting like 2,000-3,000 comments, you're getting like maybe 200. Oh, damn. I didn't even know you were here. But all right.
Lose their life, they don't lose an eye, but the Peter principle, incompetence, inefficiencies, doctors make mistakes who are trying to do the right thing, cops make mistakes while trying to do the right thing. We just assign this horrible motive. If a cop makes a mistake, well, it must be because they're racist. And I found the name Daniel Shaver, people go look it up, at this dude getting executed. He's on his knees, hands up. The cops have given him every instruction and they execute this dude. It's the most dastardly thing I've ever seen. Makes George Floyd look like a walk in the park.
Damn. There you go. We ain't got to listen to no more. Damn. Daniel Shaver was worse than George Floyd. Damn. I gotta go to work. Jared Street, hello. You seem new, but welcome. Who protects us from pookies and hoes that support them? You protect yourself, sir. That's what you do as a man. You protect yourself. The world is not going to protect you. Go get right. Go get a license to carry. Go get your peace and protect yourself. Learn self-defense. Go protect yourself. That's what our parents taught us when it came to bullies. Protect yourself. Because ain't nobody going to jump in for you when you get into that fight situation. That's for you to figure it out in life. Cosmo Fury, hello.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning.
Yeah, so let me get this straight. We just sat here and watched Jason do what Jason does, and we've watched Marc Lamont Hill pretty much do what he does, but
Hold on one
trying.
second. Roberto Garza, hello. You said both of these guys from the alphabet community. That's alleged. So a lot of black people are starting to get on code. Nothing they say should be important to us. Let me explain something to you. Everything that somebody says about us, you need to listen to it, even if you don't agree with it. You need to know how people think. If you don't do that, you're going to be very ignorant. And you're going to get easily swayed by the Candace Owens of the world when they say something that you might agree with. And you also got to understand, Roberto, we're in an election year. Everybody going to be outside talking. You got to be able to disseminate what the information sounds like. That's why we play these kind of videos for you guys, because we know y'all not going to go seek it. But y'all might see people put up clips and say, oh, shit, he might sound right. Like they're doing with Amanda Seals right now. I heard the whole thing. I can't wait to break that down in a video. She's delusional. But go ahead, Cosima.
No, just to add on to what you're saying, yeah, you got to listen to everybody because a lot of these people are propped up for saying anti-black stuff, and they propped up because they're black as well. You know, it's the good old boy mentality. See, if another black person saying that, it must be true. That's why we bring light to a lot of this stuff and talk about it. But what I was saying about Whitlock is also he's doing his typical thing. And I see you notice how Marc Lamont Hill was actually trying to like just play both sides of the not play both sides of the fence.
That's a dangerous game, though.
He was doing it with him. Like he don't want to, like he wasn't trying to push too hard on Whitlock. Whitlock needs to be pushed on. I don't know if it's gonna work because he probably like Fred Dukes ain't gonna bounce right back off of him, but still, he needs the pushback because he does this all the time. Just comply with the don't talk to no white folks like that. What you doing? It's the difference between complying and not being a bootleg. See, he's pushing the whole bootleg mentality. Like you said, when you got pulled over, you had all your papers ready, but you weren't like, oh, yes, the boss, oh, what did I do wrong? You weren't like that. It's like a part of him, this is what he won upon us. And making fun of the talk about police, that's another thing right there that's a dead giveaway for the simple fact that you got to have that talk. And he just want us to F around and find out so he can have more shit to talk about.
Jared Street, you're right. Without the police, this would be Haiti. You're right. You're right. And it also would be Russia.
Nobody's saying the police are unnecessary, Jared. People are saying,
You know why? Because because it's to control the niggas. Because, oh, guess what? Hey, Jared, without the police, most of America would look like Kensington in Philadelphia. It would look like Owsley County, Kentucky. It would look like Appalachia.
yeah, all those, man. Here they come. Here they come. Yeah.
Without the police, white people would be able to run up in your house and kill you just because you're not white. I ain't caping for the police. I understand that they serve a purpose, but it's like I told you before, you got to protect yourself first. Y'all rely way too much on police. I'm going to tell y'all again, they not for the individual citizen. They're there to uphold the public trust and protect businesses. They're not for you. And they're showing you that right now because they're out there whooping your sons and daughters' asses on them college campuses. Shout out to Genza. But again, y'all gonna ignore that because colleges are liberal, right?
Of course they are.
Y'all keep it up. Some of the best movies you see about the police is them being nefarious. Please tell me them. Tell us the police movie that the cops were the heroes. Please tell. I'd love to go watch it.
Damn, I gotta go to the think tank on that one. I gotta think hard.
Pause.
Yeah, all right. I was about to. You caught me before. What, bro? How's that plausible?
Please. It's not. I'm just fucking with you.
I know that.
Come on, give me a police movie that all the cops were great. Go ahead. Or the cops were the heroes. Go ahead.
I don't think that's possible.
Because it doesn't exist.
You know what we got?
Somebody was. I know he was gonna try to give me Judge Dredd. One of the cops were bad. Oops.
You go
Blue Streak. Nope.
He gonna dip into
Blue
the
Streak was not.
comedy.
Nope.
He gonna go into the comedy realm and go.
Black Lightning. I fuck with you. Blue Streak was not. Nope. Because even though the criminal played the cop, he was still emulating the cop. He was still a criminal. He did criminal shit. Didn't he not? Did he not tell Dave Chappelle to get the fuck out of here? Or whoever that black guy Martin Lawrence was talking to? Which police academy? Which one?
Citizens on Patrol.
Shit.
Oh man, that part 4, wasn't it? Yeah. Jeez. You know, because remember after part 3, when part 3 hit, it went PG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I can't even think of one. It's always because corruption is real. Now, even with law and order, there's always corruption. Didn't in SVU didn't Stabler get caught using his clout to get his daughter off for her when her episode was of was she bipolar? Remember that one? And they got exposed.
And
when she
by
had
the
to
way,
do
in
the
y'all's
time?
police academy, the lieutenant was trying to get rid of all them cops. So how's that good?
Oh yeah, that is true. See, exactly. You have because it's part of that's reality. But a lot of people want you to just think, hey, if the cops they stressed out. They have. I'm like, look,
Beverly Hills Cop. Which one? You talking about the first one? The fucking captain was about to get rid of that whole unit. He was about to fire Bogomil.
and he gave his best cop a hard time because
Facts.
his best cop was black. Okay, but
Bounty hunters count? No, because they're not cops. I want
bounty hunters.
cops. I don't want bounty hunters. Bounty hunters, that's ambiguous.
Didn't Dog get caught calling his son's girlfriend the N-word on the damn?
But that's real life. We're talking just movie.
Yeah,
y'all
but
can't find one. Bad Boys. Eddie Dominguez was a former cop.
Yep.
Donna was hiding information. She's a cop. Technically a secretary, but she worked for police.
Mm-hmm.
21 Jump Street is a TV show, and they had bad cops. Season 3's cliffhanger that led into season 4, they literally dealt with Hanson getting framed for a murder he didn't commit. But that's a TV show. You have a lot of leeway with TV shows. I'm talking about movies. You talking about in the heat of the night? That motherfucker went to Mississippi. How were them cops were bad?
Yep. And it was only because the sheriff protected him and turned against his own. That's
and matter of fact, and I fuck with you, Sidney Poitier, but technically he should have got arrested for smacking that white man where he was at.
Hey.
So that was a crime. He had no warrant to smack that man. He should have arrested him.
Oh yeah, and right in Beverly Hills Cop,
No,
then he
they didn't form it. In the Heat of the Night TV show was based on the movie in 1967 with Rod Steiger and Sidney Poitier.
didn't Foley throw some white dude over the table in L.A. when he was in there,
Who?
even though he's not a cop there.
Who?
Axel Foley.
Oh, you mean the dude at the Swan Club?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
even
mean the Harrow Club. Yeah, he threw him over the table because he went forward, but he was defending himself. So
okay.
technically, but he still did criminal shit.
And you saw that stunt man,
And if
right?
y'all give me Beverly Hills Cop 2, he broke into somebody's house with chewing gum, a chewing gum wrapper, and then said, "Well, I did a fraction. I did breaking a whatever the fuck he said. Something about breaking an occasional law or two as a kid. A fracture an occasional law or two a kid.
Sounds about right.
Y'all can iRobot. Are you sure about that? Because Will Smith's character did not trust robots. He went
Exactly.
out of his way to fuck with robots. Does that make him a good cop? No, that's the second one. I'm talking about the first one when he went to go see Victor Maitland, and he went to the Harrow Club. Kindergarten Cop.
Didn't his partner leave her post because she got some new D and left him to do it by himself? She
Who?
abandoned her post.
We're in Kindergarten Cop.
Yes, remember he went there to be undercover with. He had a female officer. She met a man and got D down and left him to do to be undercover on his own. I kid you not. Go back and watch.
I think so. That was at the beginning, right?
Yes.
We
She
might have.
chose. Yes, that's a hell of a police officer. So even in comedies, man.
Facts. Red Six said he had the first Airbnb. You had a lot. Oh man.
But I'm gonna get back to walking this dog. Thanks for having me up,
Yes,
man.
sir. And I gotta go to work. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Cosmo. Check out his channel. But there you go, family. Y'all can't tell me a movie with a cop was good. Not Air Cop. I'm talking about Air Cop. They weren't good. Can't find one. They pride on cops being nefarious. They like that blurred line. Why do you think Denzel Washington got the Oscar? Shout out to Styles P when he said he had to be crooked before he took it. He was helping the community in his way, but he was doing crooked shit to do it. Street Kings with Keanu Reeves, same thing. Speed, no, it was a former cop that was the bad guy. Dennis Hopper literally played a former cop who was the bad guy. He worked for Atlanta PD. He got his finger blown off. No, wait, that was after. He worked for Atlanta PD. They got rid of him because his time was up. He went to LA, got his finger blown off when he went to go see Jack and them when he was about to get arrested. And he took revenge by putting that bomb on that bus. He was a former cop. Y'all have all day. We could, you know what? We could do a stream on that. We'll have a trivia stream. That's what we'll do next week. We'll have a trivia stream. I'll just ask y'all questions and see what y'all got. I'm gonna see if y'all can stump me. We'll do that. No problem, Roberto. Anything I say on here, I'll tell you when you should take it personal. But you were asking questions. It's just certain statements I don't like seeing come from us. Because we know how this system is. You said Jumanji, the original David Allen Greer, was a good cop. Was he really, though? He was not a really good cop, though. He started fucking with Allen the second he saw him. Was he really a good cop? You might have to watch Jumanji again. He racially profiled that man. He racially profiled that man. But anyway, family, let me get up out of here. I gotta go to work. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. So I'll see you when I see you. So Cosmo, that makes him a good cop, that he was racially profiling a new couple. You said RoboCop definitely used excessive force. Yeah. They were beating up criminals. Now y'all gonna tell me, because the times were different. That don't mean nothing. And don't bring me RoboCop 2, because Duffy was a bad cop. No, technically, RoboCop, there was no good cops. OCP were the cops. Remember, they owned the cops. No shows. Again, people, you can't give me TV shows because TV shows are ambiguous. It's not a contained, it's a contained world, but you can tell different stories over a length of time. We're talking about movies. You got about between 1 and 3 hours to tell that story. I want y'all to think on that. Put it in the comment thread. If you can find a cop movie where all the cops were good, we good. But I'll be hard pressed to think that you can't find one. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. And I know somebody gonna say Lethal Weapon. We're just gonna dispel that. We're just gonna dispel that because Riggs was unhinged. You can't use Men in Black. They're technically not cops. But anyway, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all. Zava, OCP runs the cops. They said that in the movie. OCP runs the cops. They literally said that. OCP, the police. Then, according to Jason Whitlock, he was unqualified. He should have been off the force. He was doing reckless shit. That makes him a bad cop. It took a black cop as his new partner to center him back. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all can put it in the comment thread. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
At the end of the day got to end.